have to fight again, it'll be to take these steps.
As we stand against the war, we also stand behind those who resist it.
More and more U.S. service members are actively refusing to participate in the illegal, immoral invasion and occupation of Iraq.
No more. We have a different path to take, and it doesn't matter what they do to us. It doesn't matter if they take away our honorable discharge, if they put us in prison.
Call it peace or call it treason, call it love or call it reason, but I ain't marching anymore. No, I ain't marching anymore.
GDLS, General Dynamics Land Systems, makes money off of every striker that gets destroyed. We could see that every time we an IED even superficially hurt a striker, the military has to buy more parts for those strikers, and it's so blatant over there. Everything on the FOB, the forward operating base, says property of Kellogg, Brown and Root on it, and it's just there's no veil of legitimacy over there. It's quite obvious that to everyone that's there that there's people who are making amazing amounts of money on this war, and that's what it's all about. I joined the Army knowing that we were going to go to war with Iraq. It was pretty obvious at that point. But I was against the war, and I was open about those views all throughout the time I was in the military. There were definitely a lot more people questioning why we're in Iraq, and a lot more people started coming around and realizing that this is a symptom of a much larger problem. This paternalist government that we live under is that this war is just a symptom of that.
Governments have waging war is how the heck do they get people to fight? That's the age-old question of governments. How do they get the people to fight the war and the public to support them? What young people do in high schools, in colleges, in the military has the potential to completely change the United States. And what happens in the United States is going to determine what happens on the rest of the planet in terms of war, in terms of global warming, in terms of all kinds of stuff.
I was in Iraq, Al-Ramadi, part of the Al-Anbar province. From September of 04 to February 26, 05, the day I got wounded. I've never met anyone personally that has said that they've never been lied to get into the military. When you sign that dotted line, when you enlist, you cease to be an individual. You know what's going on, you know what they're telling you, it's lies. When you sign that contract, they expect you to fulfill every obligation on there. But the military doesn't have to, and it's on the contract.
They spend $4 billion a year to try and figure out how to get young people to join. We call it the military recruitment complex because there's a whole complex of research institutions that spend millions of dollars studying how your brain works and using cutting-edge advertising. The last campaign before this one was Army of One. Everyone heard of that? It was done by the same people who did the Marlboro Man, Kellogg's Corn, Tony the Tiger, and the Pillsbury Doughboy. The videos, has anyone seen the Army Strong videos on TV? They're done by the same fellow who did Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, Green Day, Rolling Stones. Who here has played America's Army? There's always at least a couple folks. It's an online shooting game which is now being moved into video places. It's got millions of downloads, and 20% of the people who joined the military have played America's Army. This is their latest recruitment campaign. It's called There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. But when your government has 2.5 million soldiers, including 700 foreign military bases in 130 other countries, you live in an empire. President Bush passed something called No Child Left Behind several years ago. Part of it mandated that every high school in the United States turn over the names of every student. The Pentagon has the largest database on the planet of all the youth in the United States. The only way out of it, and some schools make it very difficult, is to get your parents to sign an opt-out form.
In the military, there is a lot of racism, homophobia, sexism. There's a class divide also that isn't talked about. I have a friend who's in Iraq Veterans Against the War, like myself. Her name is Suzanne Swift. Basically, she was forced to have sex with her sergeant throughout the whole time. She received the order that she was going to go back again with the same sergeant. And she said, screw this, I'm not going. And she went AWOL. The sergeant who did this to her, he didn't get court-martialed. What the military does in a lot of these instances, they just relocated him to a different base. So then who knows what this guy is doing to other women.
Where I live in Oakland, California, we have a very dangerous place to grow up. We get 100 to 150 kids killed in the streets every year in our city alone. So if you show up with a weapon, you're automatically expelled. Yet at the same time, they're training young people how to use weapons. A bunch of groups in our community came together and we did a concerted campaign to confront them. So we actually measured their windows, made really pretty signs with counter-recruitment slogans on, and we pasted them on all their windows. So we used exterior waterproof wood glue, and that was what the windows of the recruiting station looked like for the next week. We were doing that. There's a clown group that was Clowns for Peace, kind of. They were going in there and doing clowning with the recruiters. The Code Pink people were doing like mock bake sales with little cupcakes with soldiers on them. And my favorite was the Raging Grannies, or Grandmothers for Peace. They go in there and say, hey, we want to enlist so that young people don't have to go to war. No, we mean it. We want to enlist. And the recruiters didn't know what to do, so they actually shut this recruiting center down last year.
The desire for power leads to corruption. We must take back what is ours.
What's up, Seattle? I want you all to raise your fists in the air in solidarity with the Iraqi people and the emergence of the jihad movement in this country. And one thing that is coming back is, like I said before, GI resistance, war resistors. If you get soldiers to refuse to fight, we will end this war. This movement needs to be led by Iraq Veterans Against the War with your support.
Countless victims of dehumanizing raids in which ICE agents arrive at their humble homes in the night to detain whole families,
incluyendo niños de todas las edades que son forzados a vivir en centros de detenciones,
including children of all ages who are forced to live in detention centers.
Sister and brother, we are here to stop the war. Hermanos, es tiempo de poner un alto a la injusta política de este país.
Brothers and sisters, it is time to put a stop to the unjust policies of this country.
Es tiempo de poner un alto a la guerra.
It is time to put a stop to the war.
Peace is power! 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 Peace is power!
When the military
ship munitions, combat vehicles, and strikers out of Fort Lewis, citizens around the Port of Olympia, the Port of Tacoma, and the Port of Grays Harbor said enough is enough, and port militarization resistance was born.
We have transformed these ports into contested ground, into sites of struggle against the war in Iraq. In Tacoma, during the 2-week-long shipment process, we engaged in a continuum of action. We got organized.
Together, we are effectively challenging a powerful agenda. 80 soldiers from these brigades have died already, and countless more Iraqis were slaughtered because those shipments reached Iraq. But together, we can stop the shipment of weaponry out of Fort Lewis and out of any port on the West Coast.
Together, we are throwing a wrench into the machines of war.
Our will is stronger than their pepper spray, our resolve will outlast their batons, and our determination cannot be tasered.
We say no to the military-industrial complex. We say out of Iraq, out of our ports, 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 out of Iraq, out of our ports.
Go join the military. You're winning. My friends are dying. I'm a whiner. Why don't you join up and do it? Go ahead. Why don't you join up? What are you doing here? You can. The recruiting place is right downtown. He's a fucking coward. Peace now. Peace now. Peace now. Peace now. Peace now.
I keep it street with it, conscious, creeping with mobs as weak as speaking is popping. Rock journals, nocturnal like the tweakers who rob shit. You lost it, and I feel the damage is done. The streets are teeming with demons strapped with badges and guns, gathering funds to take over and shatter the sun, leading us in eternal darkness here and after it's done. It's like that. Yeah, turn my mic up, turn my mic up. Yeah. So yo, I bust lines in the bus lines. Ever since I was a child in the bus lines. Why do we smell foul in the bus lines? I'm always switching my style when I bust lines. My people be acting wild in the bus lines. Man, they always smell foul in the bus lines. For real. But listen. This is that shit that make you wanna grab the Mac from the sheet. And if you vegan in the street, well now you back in the beat. The beat's banging hard enough to smack the plaque off your teeth. My beat raps is in my backpack, the sack's beneath. The fat stack of mad tracks, ass captain complete. I know the jack of whack cat, place I'm added in cheap. The party barbecue in Madison Beach. From my first word spoken, yo, I always had a knack for the speech. You could compete something in the seat, cruising down the interstate, thinking of ways to put some food up on my dinner plate. Wanna walk with Jesus, but I'm caught up in the sinner's fate. Innovate this great bitch of banks who diss and hate. Illustrate and illustrate a rhyming while you imitate. It's much more than just having fun with wordplay. Now we're fathering rappers and it's taking son to work day. Cops and baby mothers taking cover with my birth spray. It's like that. Listen. So if you bust lines in the bus line, you know what it's like.
What makes a battle? This is what it takes to make a battle. You, the millions of workers, men and women, young and old, high school kids and grandmothers, pouring in from all sections, all states, from the east, from the south, from the Midwest and the West. You can't blame them much for not believing what the loudspeaker was telling them.
Surely all of us can feel gratitude and pride toward American capitalism.
I once heard a clergyman say that the profit motive is not a good motive.
Capitalism is a system in which economic wealth or capital is used to produce goods for sale. Or in other words,
there is no free lunch.
What do you dislike most about America?
Gosh, I love America.
There's about 500 BlackRock people, and we're all headed to the financial district.
People are now putting barricades in the streets.
Like the corners of my mind, misty watercolor memories of the way we were. Nobody but nobody's gonna rain on my parade.
It has much smarter weapons. Finding black people running around.
Many of us who are living now will never see the end of the conflict which dominates our lives.
No free lunch.
Attention, attention, attention. American forces are here to help. Remain calm. We will not tolerate civil disobedience.
I heard about this protest on the internet.
On the internet?
Yes.
Oh.
The computer, that's the way of today. That's technology today.
The computer, not the radio.
I listened to KVI. I heard about it on KVI and also the internet.
Scream right into the side of the Twin Tower, exploding through the other side.
Tell us what this song is and why is it being played?
It's just patriotic music.
What kind of music do the anti-war protesters listen to?
I have no idea what the hell kind of music they're playing.
And what is your thoughts on this pro-war group over here with all these flags and KVR radio station and things like that?
I don't know. I think they suck.
Yes? And do we have radio station for us, for our team?
No, we don't.
No. That doesn't seem very fair to me.
It's not.
I have no problems with those people, with the anti-war people. I have no beefs with them. I have no issues with them.
What do you mean? You say beefs?
Well, issues. I'm not against their right to be here.
Do they eat beef or not?
Oh, I don't know. Well, that's just an expression in America. Like I have no beef with them means I have no problems with them or I have no personal issues with them.
You support the terrorists. You support the terrorists.
And we're doing a project on protests in the United States. Can we interview you about political?
I'd rather not do that.
Rather not? Mind if we ask why you cover your face?
Because I don't want to be seen.
By whom?
By them. They're cowards.
The college? The college students. I've seen you around at these protests. Are you a celebrity?
No.
A celebrity protester?
I'm just an activist like you.
I listen to both sides of every issue, whether it be pro-troops, anti-troops. I'll listen to both sides so I can be informed. And I get all of that from Fox News.
You support the terrorists. Shame on you. You support the terrorists.
True clear channel with rhythm and information. Internet connect network, private stations, media free, underground communication. Underground communication.
They don't even pick the music at this station, so Klan propaganda stay in heavy rotation. I'm putting politics back in the mix and taking hip-hop back to the bricks. I put a cap in the myth. If I'm caught, then I'm jacking the fifth. Either that or self-defense, cause I have to resist. My music is a weapon, insurrection strapped to a disc. Organized to bring about demise of capitalists. What? Don't get it twisted, baby. I'll take it back to Haiti. Black Jacobin attacking men that's trying to slay me. I'm a dark-skinned Marxist marksman, sparking rebellion everywhere that I'm marching. Got politics, roll with a lot of clicks, and when the time comes, we gon' load a lot of clips. Now throw your hands up and show me your fists, cause you know they got our names on the government list. Say it with me one time. Reality check. 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 I knew this activist who said she was a pacifist, but on the real she treated me like I'm a masochist. Hypercritical, but loved it when her ass was kissed, and hated sweatshops cause they disrupted her fashion list. Afraid of immigrants, she helped them in her own way. She said she only purchased coffee that was fair trade. Just a typical hypocritical digital snapshot of a pseudo-political crackpot. She liked to talk a lot and smoke a lot of pot, and ended up moving home with the folks a lot. I knew some anarchists resisting in the black bloc who never seemed to set foot on any black blocks. I know some cats who like to spit a lot of facts but never show up when it's time to fight back. Some real rappers spit truth every night but say stupid shit when it comes to gay rights. They talk about the Panthers but they never knew that Huey would have called their ass out for what they do. If I'm lying, then I'm dying then. No, the left is still segregated in the lion's den. A lot of liberals act radical till you bring up Palestine and you can find them on sabbatical. I only say it because it's necessary. How the fuck do you think we're gonna make change voting for Obama, Clinton, McCain, or John Kerry? We got the 8-hour day because of strikes, not because you wrote your congressman and got the right. They could give a goddamn if you're polite, but hit them in the pockets and they'll meet with you tonight. You can watch that on the news if you're there. Cops locking up workers on strike for health care. Why so many on the left stand with the government when you start talking about capital punishment? I see disparity with clarity. You know that solidarity is not synonymous with charity. Say it with me one time. Reality check. Say it with me one time. Reality check. Say it with me one time. Reality check. Say it with me one time. Reality check.
Corporate media is often criticized for only going after the spectacular shots and the superficial stories and not bothering with the issues raised by demonstrators. Truth is, they don't even get the good shots.
Ripped up paving stones with crowbars and even their bare hands, broke them and threw the chunks at the lines of riot police. Get the f*** out of here.
For the good shots, as well as the whole truth, and the reasons behind the truth, rely on the independent media.